Welcome back, everybody. Call of Duty has had some pretty awesome reload animations over the years, which kind of makes sense because in a game like COD, where you're going to be reloading your weapon every 5 seconds or so, it seems, the developers might as well give you something cool to look at, right? But with that being said, there's definitely been some reload animations that stick in your head throughout the years. What is up, everybody? Chaos here, and welcome to the COD History Series. And today we're going to be going over my 10 personal picks for the weirdest reload animations in COD history. These are the ones that just kind of stick with you throughout the years. Drop a like and be sure to let me know in the comment section what is your favorite reload animation of all time in Call of Duty. We're going to kick things off with the famous Dinner Plate 28. That's right, the DP-28 in World at War. This machine gun was pretty good in terms of combat, but it also had a very interesting reload. Back during the early 20th century, a lot of automatic weapons had circular magazines that would go on top of the gun instead of underneath the gun, which looks pretty strange now that we have advanced technology, but it was pretty normal back then. But the DP-28 looks like something you would eat off of rather than something you would go into war with. You just unhook the plate, toss it off, smack on a new one into place, and go back into combat. I think it's the perfect way to kick off this list because most anybody that's been in Call of Duty for a while, they know when you say the dinner plate, they know what gun you're talking about. At number 9, we're going to fast forward all the way to Black Ops 3 and a shotgun. I'll give you 3 guesses which one it is. Yep. You probably got it right. It's the Argus. That's right. The Black Ops 3 futuristic version of the KSG from Black Ops 2. And if you had some really good accuracy with this gun, you knew what you were doing. You could delete people from ridiculous range with this thing. Now, thanks to the futuristic theme, the Argus had a pretty cool design. And the reload animation, well, it was weird, but it was cool too. It was unique. You flicked open the side of the gun and you ejected a weird circular cartridge that looked kind of like a sardine can before plopping another one in and going back to work. Definitely a weird animation, but it fit in perfect with the setting of Black Ops 3 and it worked. This month's giveaway is for a new PlayStation 4 console. All you have to do to enter is drop a like on this video, be subscribed to the channel, and turn on your notifications so you never miss an upload. And in the comment section, let me know why you want to win the PS4 and include your Twitter handle so I can contact you if you're the winner. The winner will be announced at the end of the month. At number 8, yes, okay, this animation makes the list not because it's actually weird or strange, but it's just, I don't know, it's inaccurate. I don't know, it stands out, okay? The M1 Garand in World War II. When you reload the M1 Garand, your character ejects the clip, shoves a new one in, and then pushes the cover back up. But if you guys know your history at all, you know this is actually not at all how an M1 Garand would behave if you tried to reload it this way. A real M1 Garand would not actually allow for there to be any time between the clip going in and your character pushing the cover forward because that happens automatically. In fact, the M1 Garand was notorious for squishing people's fingers with the cover when they put the cartridge in because that's what would happen. It would do it on its own speed and it would catch people off guard. The Call of Duty World War II M1 Garand reload animation is so wrong, and it's honestly strange that Sledgehammer managed to get it wrong considering how much research they did and travel they did for this game. But it wasn't really the weirdest reload animation. I guess it was maybe the most inaccurate, but I wanted to put it on the list. At number 7, another shotgun. I'll give you 3 guesses. It's a shotgun from Call of Duty Ghosts. The Bulldog. That's right, this semi-automatic spam shotgun is what a lot of people like to call it. Was one of the best in its class in Ghost thanks to the quick time to kill of the game and the fact that this thing would do 50 damage with one pull of the trigger on top. It had a 460 round per minute rate of fire, people. This is a shotgun. But the Bulldog definitely had a weird reload animation as well. Ghost was pretty grounded as a game in terms of the realism and all that stuff, but the Bulldog had a weird animation where you pulled out the entire barrel, slid in a new one before getting back to the spamming. In a game that was as bland and kind of lifeless as COD Ghost, it was pretty cool to have an animation like this in the game to give this whole thing some new flavor. And you either loved this gun or you absolutely despised it. At number 6, the Akimbo M1911s in Black Ops. Now, this is a fan favorite weapon from the original Black Ops that at first glance, it just seems like a normal pistol. But if you spent the entire clip while using them akimbo, well, there was a pretty cool, strange reload animation that would play in place of the usual one. Kind of a secret reload animation, if you will. The Akimbo M1911s would reload, and it would have the standard magazine drop. But when your character pulled them back into view, he would do this weird flick with them in order to rechamber the weapon. It's definitely a cool reload animation, but I'm not really sure how practical. I'm not sure how practical it is in terms of battle tactics, but that doesn't matter. It's a video game, and did you feel good running around with these Akimbo pistols back then? I did. It was this one, and I think it was the Python and the C75, C275, something, CZ75 or something like that. Cracking into the top 5, we have the IMR in Advanced Warfare. Now, Advanced Warfare had some weird weapons. I mean, it did, thanks to it being the first really futuristic COD game, and you can tell that Sledgehammer had a lot of fun designing the guns, and perhaps the coolest reload animation in the game is the IMR, which you pulled a lever, popped out this big metal tube, let it cool down for a couple seconds because it was hot, and then you popped it right back into place. It is one thing to design reload animations for guns that actually exist, but Sledgehammer really had to get creative with the futuristic ones because there's really no precedent or book for them to go off of, and in that case, I think they did a great job on that aspect of the game. Advanced Warfare had a lot of problems, but the weapon design and the animations, well, they were not one of them. Okay, number 4, I'm going to cheat, okay? I'm going to say most of the snipers in Call of Duty World War II. Going back to COD World War II, this is one that I'm shocked got through testing phases without anybody saying anything, but on many of the sniper rifles in the game, you reload the gun with a clip through the top. But for some reason, the character model just warps the bullets through the scope of the gun. That's lazy, people. That's lazy editing. For the reload animations of the Car 98K, the Lee Enfield, and the Springfield, the character somehow magically reloads the gun with a clip from the top, despite there being this giant scope blocking where the entrance would be. Also, most snipers in World War II were reloaded with individual bullets, not clips. Just another thing that Sledgehammer somehow got wrong, despite all the research that they boasted about doing in their development. I know it's not a big deal, it's a video game, but come on. It's about the little things, especially when you put out there that you really spent the time on the finer details. Next up at number 3, we have the 3-round burst assault rifle from the original Black Ops, one of the most powerful guns in the game, but also one of the most awkward both in the handling department and the looks. I'm talking about the G11, my friends. The real-world G11 was a prototype weapon developed in the 1960s by Heckler & Koch. Now, it never really actually saw full production, and only 1,000 of them were actually made, so if you get your hands on one, they're super rare. They're probably worth some money. Now, thankfully, the weapon's legacy lived on in the form of Black Ops, which it was one of the strongest rifles in the game, but this thing definitely looks like a prototype weapon in a game due to its wacky reload. To reload the G11, you pulled out some rods out of the front of it, you shove in some new rods through the back, and then you wind it up by the handle like you're winding up a toy. It's definitely a weird reload that reflects the unfinished nature of the real-world weapon itself. Did anybody else dominate with this thing? Take off that dumb scope and just use iron sights? This thing was a beast. Going back to Advanced Warfare, and a gun that does not fit in with the advanced technology that was in the game, the Blunderbuss. Well, World War II as well, but I'm going to focus more on Advanced Warfare. The Blunderbuss is a fan-favorite shotgun that first appeared in AW, then it was brought back in World War II as a fun weapon to goof around with, and although some people were actually able to use it. But if there's one thing that we can all agree on, the Blunderbuss, it had a really bad reload time. Although, you didn't mind because you had a pretty fun reload animation to watch. To reload the Blunderbuss, you would have to manually pour in the gunpowder. Okay, that's accurate. And then the shotgun pellets. That's accurate as well, before whipping out the little stick to make sure the entire concoction mix gets patted down in the barrel enough to fire again. That's pretty accurate too. Then you were good to go. And you shoot it once, and you have to wash, rinse, and repeat. I can't imagine how frustrating this gun would have been to fire back in real life when weapons like this were in heavy use. At number 1, it takes the cake for me. You probably knew it was going to be on the list. The Venom-X in Ghost and Infinite Warfare. Perhaps the weirdest gun in COD history, the Venom-X. This weapon debuted in Ghost, and it was brought back a little while later in Infinite Warfare's life cycle, and it was pretty popular for its damage and its weird design. Now the X is a launcher that shoots out weird alien acid packs that blow up on impact like a grenade launcher, and to reload this bad boy, well, you would hook up some weird green sacky thing to the back of the gun, you would squeeze some more weird green juice into that, and it would be reloaded. Has Infinity Ward ever actually explained what this gun is or where this gun comes from? Regardless, it's more than deserving to me of the #1 spot on today's list. And there you have it, my friends. Those are 10 of my personal weirdest reload animations in COD history. Let me know where I got it right. Let me know where I got it wrong. Let me know what your favorite is. Drop a like, make sure you're subscribed, and turn on those notifications, and give me some suggestions for future COD history videos you would like to see my personal list on. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you soon.